guys, it's Katie with StringExpert.com. Today we're going to learn the beginner version of Devil's Dream. Now, I would love to just teach you the notes, but I think it would be better if you have sheet music and fingerings. So if you go to my website, StringExpert.com, you can print off all the fingerings for the piece and follow along. Let me play it for you so you can hear what it's supposed to sound like. Alright, so to learn Devil's Dream, we need to break it up into smaller sections to make it easier. So let's start with the beginning. The beginning, we have a 2-bar introduction. And so what we're doing with this is we're playing an open A and an open E and a double stop. So a double stop is when we play 2 notes on different strings at the same time. So let's try that. So we have open A and open E. Then we're going to do open A and open E with the rhythm long, short, short. Then the next is the double stop C sharp and open E. So we have open A, open E, C sharp, E. Let's practice that. Now, you might have noticed that we're missing something. We need to add a little bit of that country swing flair. So what I did was I added a slide. So what we're going to do is when we play the C sharp double stop, we're actually going to start with C natural right here, and then as we're playing, we're going to slide our finger up into C sharp. That's going to give it that country twang that we really, really want for the song. So it's going to be, then put your finger down for a low second finger, and then slide it up to a high second finger. Now let's see if we can play that fast. If when you put your second finger down, it sounds squeaky, you want to be very careful to make sure that you're not hitting the string next door, which happens a lot. So when we play double stops with a finger down, we need to be really careful to make sure that our hand is made into a round C, and to make sure that when we put our fingers down, we're not hitting the string over. So what you do is you put your fingers down and then just kind of roll your fingers over so you're not hitting the other string, and you should be in good shape. Okay, so that's the introduction, and practice that. Make sure you know that really, really well because it's so important. When you're playing in a bar or you're playing with a group of people, you want them to pay attention to you and notice your sound. And a good way to do that is by having a very, very strong introduction or tag. Okay, now let's get to the main melody of the song. The main melody goes like this. Seems like a lot, but it really isn't that bad. Okay, so let's start with the first measure after the introduction. So we have C sharp, E, A, G sharp, A, open E, A, G sharp. Let's try that again. C sharp, E, G, A, G, A, open E, G. Let's try that again. Now, there are a lot of notes in this piece, but a lot of the notes repeat itself. So if we learn the main melody, then we have 90% of the song learned. So don't panic. Okay, now the second thing is that what I always tell my beginner students is think about it like how you would eat an elephant. Well, it's pretty hard to eat an elephant, but if you're gonna eat an elephant, you're just gonna eat it one bite at a time. Now please don't eat the elephants because we really like them, but the point is that you want to take it in small little doses. So work on each measure, get each measure right, and then put it all together for the whole song. Okay, so we have the first three measures, now let's go on. So the next one is A, open E, A, G sharp, A again, open E, F sharp, open E. So it's A, E, A, G sharp, A, E, F sharp, E. Let's try that again. Now, if we take the first measure of the melody and the second measure of the melody, let's practice those together. Now, if you can't play it smoothly at that tempo, go back and play it slower and then play it fast. We want to really make sure that we understand and we know the notes really, really well. Okay, then the next measure after that, we have D, C sharp, D, F sharp, B, F sharp, D, F sharp. Lots of F sharps. So we have D, B, D, F sharp, D, F sharp, D, F sharp. Let's try and practice that a little bit faster. Now, when we're playing sections like this where we have one consistent note like an F sharp, one of the keys that we can do in order to not have to move our fingers a lot is to put our finger down on both strings instead of just one. So in this section, we have a B and an F sharp consistently played. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my first finger on both the B and the F sharp. So it's going to be right in between the two strings. And I don't want to say push, but I just use a lot more of my entire finger radius to hit both strings at the same time. So then as I'm playing it, I just keep my finger down, play the F sharp, play the B, play the F sharp, keep my finger down, play the D, then play the F sharp. And this makes it really easy because you're just sliding back and forth in between the two strings as opposed to lifting your finger up every single time and setting it down every single time. If you try and lift your finger up and set it down every single time, it's not very efficient, you're not going to play very fast, and you'll also find 9 times out of 10 you'll be very out of tune because every time you lift your finger and have to put it down, there's a chance that your finger might be out of tune. Okay, so practice that, get that measure down, then let's go back to the beginning of the melody and let's play through the first 3 measures. Remember to keep your first finger down on both strings for this section. Good. Okay, now let's keep going. So, the 4th measure, we have B, F sharp, D, F sharp, A, G sharp, F sharp, E. So in this section, I would recommend continuing keeping your first finger down on both the A string and the E string. This is just going to make playing much, much easier for you overall. So we have B, F sharp, D, F sharp, then we have a little scale going down. So we have A, G sharp, F sharp, and lift your finger off both strings for the open E. Good. Let's try the whole section so far. Now, look at the next measure. Does it look familiar? Yep, it's exactly the same as the first measure. So let's go ahead and play that. Then the next measure, is it exactly the same as the second measure? It is. So let's play it. Okay, let's try that whole section from the beginning. Now, here's where it changes. So we have D, C sharp, D, F sharp, open E, D, C sharp, B. So it's D, C sharp, D, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, B. That's a lot. Let's try it again. Okay, now we have this whole section learned. Let's go back to the beginning and let's work on it to this point. Okay, now let's learn the next measure. So we have A open, F sharp, E, F sharp, A, B, A. Let's try that again. A, F sharp, E, F sharp, A, B, A. Okay, let's try that whole section. Stay tuned to part 2, where we learn the second half of Devil's Dream.